All right, guys, let's look at number 7, the long call. In the long call, we're going to do the same exact rhythm, by the way, as the odd numbers on page 4, which is just whole notes to whole rest, whole note, and whole rest. That's number 5, number 3, and number 1, right? Same exact rhythm. We're just going to learn a new pitch. Now, in this pitch, we call it D. And D is played just like E, we just add one more finger, and that's going to be your second finger. Take a close look. We have our thumb on the thumb key, not the register key still, all right? Then we have our first finger on the very first hole, and then our second finger on the next hole, keeping our ring finger up. Now there are keys right under this finger, like this G sharp key. Please do not press it. Make sure your fingers are nice and round, making a C shape, just pressing the holes and keys that you're supposed to. And make sure you're using the pads of your fingers to cover up the holes, the pads only. Okay, so that's D. This is what it should sound like. Simple as that. It's going to sound just like E, just lower one step. Now D is actually below the musical staff. The music staff is 5 lines and 4 spaces, but you'll quickly know that it's actually much more than that because you'll end up going to what's called ledger lines later. Now, included in this exercise, we're going to be discussing double bar line. Now, the book calls it a double bar line, but what I like to call it is the final bar line, okay? And what I mean by that is that there's a thick line and a very thin, like a normal bar line, but when you see the thick one and the regular one, that tells you or indicates that it's the end of the piece. There's no more measures after that. It's the final one, and that's why I like to call it the final bar line. The double bar line is referring to another thing where it's just 2 bar lines together. Neither one is different thickness, rather, and it's to implement something else. So right now, just worry about this and call it the final bar line, then rather than the double one in the book. So in this piece, exercise number 7, the long call, we only have 4 measures, and it's indicated by that final bar line there. Now, you might see multiple lines of music later on, and it'll see just a regular bar line at the very end from here on out. That means there's another line of music somewhere else, so you'll have to read it just like you do when you're reading English, from left to right, left to right, left to right, going down each line until you get to the final bar line, and it tells you to stop playing, or there's no more music. That'll be the end of the piece. So let's go into the long call, D. Get your metronome set at 60 beats per minute. Make sure your right hand is on the barrel. Your left hand is already put on the keys with your thumb, first finger, and second finger ready for D. You're sitting at the edge of your chair, sitting up nice and tall. Make sure that you have the right embouchure, not biting with your teeth. Make sure you're covering out at the bottom lip with your teeth, or your bottom teeth with your lip, and then your teeth on top, all right? Making a nice seal going forward and down like a frowny face rather than a back and smiley face. Down and forward. Here we go. Make sure you breathe on beat 4 and play right after. 1, 2, 3. As simple as that.